From cheers of the fans to the crack of the bat, learn it all from Jimbo, Gabe, Mike, and Matt. Giving thoughts on all public teams, whether times are boom or if they are lean. Hero players that you should know, not only the good things, highs and the lows. Here it is, we're ready to go. Please enjoy the podcast on with the show.
Good morning, good evening, and good everything in between, and welcome to the podcast. It's been a minute since we last saw you. I'm your host, Jim Bobernick, and I'm joined as always by Mr. Gabe Lerman. How you doing, Gabe?
I got a book published last weekend. I am over the moon, man.
Woo, that's awesome. What's the book about?
I cannot mention it because it's against our policies here on the podcast to bring up personal stuff. But needless to say, Google my name. You'll find it.
Fair enough. And we were also joined as always by Mr. Michael Bealey. How you doing, Mike?
It has been a minute. There is a lot to talk about, and I'm also in the process of publishing something, but mine's more tabletop RPG related.
Hell yeah. That sounds awesome.
So Jimbo, when are you going to start writing something?
What if I have actually been working on something, but it's not safe for work. So let's just skip that.
All right then.
Something else. And so yeah, it's been a hard minute. The Hawks lost. I haven't been back since then. I had to go on a soul searching journey. But we have a lot of league news to talk about. A ton of league news. It's award season. It's off season activity. And let's start with our awards. We got MVP of the Pacific League, Mr. Kensuke Kondo. And it's no big surprise. I think we all saw this coming. The only qualified PL batter to get to bat over 300, almost twice as good as an average PL batter this season, and also put up 21 defensive runs saved and left. He was, the best player all season long, and I don't think there's really any. I don't even know who you can make an argument for would be like second place. Do you guys have anyone you would even comes to mind?
No, nobody really comes to mind. And after fantastic seasons with the Fighters and last year with the same Hawks, it's good to see Kensuke getting the recognition he so rightly deserves. Cannot wait to see him pummel the majors again the next WBC, because he's going to be there and he's going to kick butt.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, for an also nice little feather in my cap as far as the teams I cover, Rookie of the Year is Natsuki Takeuchi for the Lions. Also, no big surprise there. Had a 10-6 record with a 2.17 ERA over 145 innings. And a winning record on that Lions club this year was definitely quite the impressive feat. I don't usually care that much about wins and losses, but when you've got absolutely no run support, I should say, whatsoever, it's quite impressive, especially for such a youngster to be that good.
I think you could squint and kind of make a case for Ryo Ota on the Buffaloes, but thinking around the other guys in the league, it'd be really hard to come up with anyone close to the resume of Takeuchi. Absolutely the right call. All right, we'll do the speed run of the best 9 and Golden Gloves. Best 9 being best overall player, Golden Gloves, of course, specific to defense. The best 9 for the Pacific League: at pitcher, Kohei Arihara of the Hawks. It's his first nomination. At catcher, Toshiya Sato of the Marines, his first. At first base, Hotaka Yamakawa of the Hawks, his fourth best 9 award. At second base, Hiroto Kobukata of the Eagles, his first. At third base, Ryoya Kurihara of the Hawks, his first, and good for him after coming back from injury. At shortstop, Kenta Imamiya of the Hawks, his fourth. In the outfield, Ryosuke Tatsumi of the Eagles, Kensuke Kondo of the Hawks, and Ukyo Shuto of the Hawks, first, third, and first respectively. And at designated hitter, Franmil Reyes of the Fighters, his first best 9 award. On the defensive end, the Golden Gloves: at pitcher, Levon Moinello of the Hawks, his first ever. At catcher, Takuya Kai of the Hawks, his 7th in the last 8 years. At first base, second base, and third base, it's the same as the best 9. Yamakawa, Kobukata, and Kurihara, all those their first ever awards. At shortstop, the human highlight reel, Sosuke Genda, his 7th consecutive Golden Glove at shortstop. A couple other repeats in the outfield, with Ryosuke Tatsumi of the Eagles winning his 4th consecutive Golden Glove, and Chusei Manami of the Fighters winning his 2nd consecutive. Bonus points to Ukyo Shuto for getting his first ever Golden Glove in the outfield.
And yeah, no big surprises there. Really happy to see so many Hawks and so many repeat. What's the right word there? Success stories. Let's go, Sosuke Genda.
And I'm
and
looking at this list and I'm like, wait, where are the Buffaloes?
yeah,
Oh
I mean,
dear.
that's that happens. It was a rough season for the Buffaloes, though. Yeah, even the fact that there are some Lions, well, one Lion, I mean, that's still better than zero. And yeah, is there anything? I think there is something else we want to talk about, and maybe you want to get a little more into that, because I think you
Yeah,
might know some of
so
the
we know it
details
came
about
out
it.
literally between recording and posting last episode. We're gonna hold it over for the Marine segment, but yeah, Roki Sasaki got posted, and we have thoughts.
Yeah, I wish he didn't. That's my thought. I don't like guys getting posted that early. I don't. I want to see guys stay in Japan as long as they can, but
Yeah, we'll
I
we'll,
mean,
we'll
that's
hold
life.
off the longer conversation until Michael's segment on the Marines, and then we'll chime in.
And so that brings us over to our Around the Horn segment, where we talk about every team in the league from top to bottom as they were standing with the end of the season. And so that starts us off, as always, with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I was just seeing, just making sure I'm reading this right. Do you guys remember Adam Walker? Because I barely did. I thought,
He got signed over from the Giants to take advantage of the DH spot because he definitely slugged at Tokyo Dome, and we thought he was going to be a difference maker for the Hawks at DH.
and I remember thinking I saw him in preseason and some games. I thought he looked pretty good, but then he just kind of disappeared. I think he was also brought in as a bit of a contingency plan for if
Mm.
Yamakawa or anyone else didn't kind of pick up. But no, everything really went the right way for the Hawks this season. So yeah, I mean, and yeah, he will not be offered a contract in 2025. So sad to see him go, but it's not like it's no great emotional loss or anything. Though Takayuka Kai and Shuta Ishikawa are officially free agents, the Hawks may still bring them back. But Takayuka Kai is somebody I would definitely like to see back. Not sure how we could upgrade at that position otherwise. So hopefully he does come back.
I mean, 7 Golden Gloves in the last 8 years, yeah. But you also have to keep in mind Takashi Umino has been sitting there waiting patiently for the starter's job. If anyone's going to take over, it'd be him.
Yep, that is true. And on the other hand, though, in terms of people staying around, Darwinzon Hernandez is still sticking around for 2 more seasons, courtesy of an extension. I remember he was pretty good this season, so definitely happy to have him stay around. And, the bullpen always needs more arms.
Darwinzon Hernandez has definitely been electric out of the setup role. 2.25 ERA over 48 games, 3 saves, 72 strikeouts, and a whip of exactly 1.
And that means there are still 5 foreign Hawks on contract. That's Carter Stewart Jr., our boy, Levan Moinello, my boy, Roberto Osuna, a guy, aforementioned Hernandez, and Jeter Downs as the lone batter. He was kind of impressive towards the end of last season, so hopefully with a full season under his belt, he can really pull through and give us some production there at the second base position. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that's gone for the Hawks. And so that brings us over to the second place team in the Pacific League, the team that fell in the finals, Pacific League finals, to the Hawks, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Take it away, Gabe.
Among the new players coming to Japan is CPBL MVP Gulin Rui Yang. He skipped the Premier 12 due to injury, which the Taiwanese team did succeed in upsetting Japan. Incredible. But he was a dynamo in the 2024 season, putting up a 10-2 record with a 1.66 ERA and 150 strikeouts over 125 innings. Here's what to expect: a fastball up to 98 miles an hour, a forkball, and a curveball. So Roki Sasaki with a little bit of curveball action, basically. We may have a new Taiwanese Titan in our midst. He'll join Franmil Reyes, Ariel Martinez, and Drew Verhagen as the Fighters' foreign foursome. Try saying that 3 times fast. Utility infielder Kazunari Ishii will be staying in Hokkaido after declining to use his free agency rights. He'll be an excellent backup to Tatsuki Mizuno and Daigo Kamikawabata up the middle, making sure to keep both of those well rested. Hanging up the cleats after this season is Taiga Egoshi, the 31-year-old outfielder, more known for his time with the Tigers and as a defensive substitute. Still, slugged a few more home runs in his time in Hokkaido. Happy trails and best of luck. One last note for the Fighters: a new set of uniforms to commemorate ESCON Field, their new ballpark, adding blue shoulders and a white chevron representing the sky and the roof to last year's black over black outfits. I think it looks sharp. I may have to invest in a set because they also put the names on the backs too, just under the numbers. And yeah, I gotta get a
Under
Chusei
the numbers.
Manami jersey, man. I just gotta.
Man, I haven't seen them, but I'm really trying to like mentally put together what you're talking about here. It sounds interesting, but the names under the numbers, that's weird. That's
Well,
very
gotta
funny.
leave spot for room for the roof image.
I guess so. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
I'll
And
send you a link on the chat.
yep, okay. And so that brings us over to our third place team, the other playoff team from the league, the Chibalode Marines. Take it away, Mike.
Uh-huh. So Roki Sasaki has been posted. He was posted, I don't remember how many weeks ago. It was
Well, it was
definitely,
announced. I don't think the posting period has started yet.
well, he's announced that he will be posted. And I saw that around 1 in the morning. I don't remember the exact date, but I was in fact going to bed, checked Twitter one last time, my mistake, and then stayed up till about 4 in the morning actually fielding questions from people, that was pretty cool. Probably the only time in my life that actually happens. And then just talking about the fact that he's going to be posted. I actually talked at length with our friend Steve Novosel and something I recorded with him. I don't know when exactly that'll go up. It is edited and everything, but I just don't know exactly when it's going. And I just think it's flat out just ridiculous because like why? I mean it just doesn't make any sense. Like you're sacrificing quite literally possibly hundreds of millions for to sign international slot money. Like like why? I don't know about you, but I'd rather wait till I'm 25 and then get the hundreds of millions. And of course, you don't really want to speculate because there's all the conspiracy theories going around. Does he have a clause in his contract saying that when he wants to be posted, he has to be posted? Because the contracts are not necessarily public as they tend to be in the U.S. Um, so it's just really doesn't make much sense, like if any sense at all. And it's a lot of people are just trying to like figure out like what exactly made him want to go over so soon. Like some people are saying, "Oh, there was tampering." I mean, there's no evidence of that. What are you gonna do? Sit there and yell at a cloud? It's just like really annoying. Not even just so the team that I like is losing a very good pitcher. It's the fact that so what do we do now? Does every player who wants to be posted suddenly just have to be posted as they demand? And now teams can just lose their best player at any point at any time because we want to let them follow their dreams. So what happens now? Do they sign a contract with MLB and then all of a sudden your favorite MPB team is now some team's quadruple A affiliate or something? Like it's just ridiculous. I don't like it. The more annoying thing now is I'm trying to think exactly like what are they? I'm not saying he's irreplaceable, but like exactly the Marines front office has a pretty lengthy process to go through now at trying to just fill his slot in rotation. Some people have said that Ojima now slots in as the ace, which is something I would agree with. I think Tanaichi possibly could do that. I think I actually said that last year on one of our early episodes, and I said Atsuki Tanaichi, I believe he could slot into the number one spot whenever Roki Sasaki does get posted. And, we did know that he was going to get posted. There wasn't a single Marines fan out there that thought he would stay for whatever reason. We all knew that immediately he was going to go. We just thought it would be like a case like, I don't know, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who, gave the Buffaloes 3 straight Japan Series appearances. They had a championship, and then he had what? Was it 2 Triple Crowns or 3 Triple Crowns pitching wise?
Three straight triple crowns, three straight Sawamura, three straight PL MVP. He left nothing left to do here in Japan. Sasaki doesn't quite have the same awards chest, although he does have a 19 strikeout perfect game.
Yeah, and like that perfect game was fun, and I loved watching it live. It was a great time, and the near perfect game, but it was just like So that's it, huh? Like the Marines definitely contributed to his development. There's people out there that I see on Twitter that are like, "Oh, well, he's wasting his time." Okay, well, the Marines helped turn him into the pitcher that he is. It's not like, he just came out of high school and was, perfectly MLB capable right there and then. I mean, he could have been, but, we'll never know. And the Marines, I mean, he didn't pitch his first year at all. I don't think he pitched in the minors at all. They took care of him. They did everything. They wanted to preserve that arm the best they could. They pulled him out in the middle of a consecutive perfect game attempt to, take care for his development and everything.
And he's
It's
still
just,
been injury prone.
yeah, I mean, last year it was what, the 2-month blister? It was
It's
like every
blisters, it's oblique injuries, but the elbow tendon at least is intact. And I bet you whichever MLB team signs him for peanuts is pretty happy about that.
If he goes to the
Ultimately,
Dodgers, he's going to lose that tendon pretty quickly because that's what the
oh yeah,
Dodgers
that's
do.
true. That team is cursed, man.
As soon as he signs, the thing's going to go just. It's just really annoying because the Buffaloes. I'm not saying Lotte needs the posting fee, but it would be nice, and also it would be nice for the fans to get something out of it. We got the perfect game, and then goodbye, I'm gone. And then just to address a lot of the commentary online, which social media, people can say whatever they want. I really have no problem with people saying whatever they want, but there was all these bizarre things being posted, like to Marines fans who are quite, not even like the English language Marines fans, like the Japanese Marines fans trying to post in English. I'm seeing arguments occurring in like 4 languages on Twitter. It's pretty hilarious. No one really knows what everyone's saying, but I'm seeing Dodger fans saying like, "Oh, you should be happy that he's getting put." Well, why would I be happy? Oh, well, he's following his dream. Okay, so say a player in the Dodgers goes to the Dodgers front office, is like, "Yeah, I really wanted to be a Yankee. Send me to the Yankees right now." Should you be happy if they do that and you get nothing for it? Should we just cave into every single player's demand ever? I know we're the main way of thinking with sports is, oh, you should never side with the ownership, never side with the team, always side with the players. No, I don't have to. I'm not going to.
It is up to the team to entice the player to stick around. I know you said that Lotte doesn't need the money. I counter this. The Marines absolutely could have used the generational posting fee that Sasaki at age 25 could have gotten. I mean, when Daisuke Matsuzaka got posted in 2007, his posting fee of $51 million was triple the Lions' entire payroll. They used that to renovate the Balloonadome. The Yamamoto posting fee is going to be multi-million dollars. You don't think they can go out and reinvest that in Kyocera Dome, in Hotomoto Field Kobe, in getting better talent? Ditto for the fighters with Darvish. There was an opportunity. I mean, we know that Zozo Marine Stadium is a concrete donut on the shoreline, and it probably could use some TLC soon. There's been rumblings and rumors of replace or renovate. You don't think the $50 million could have been beneficial? I mean, ultimately, the people to blame are MLB for having this arcane rule in place that treats everyone under the age of 25 as an amateur, regardless of whether or not they have experience in a pro league elsewhere. It was wrong for Otani's value to be suppressed by that. It's wrong for Sasaki's value to be suppressed by that. And if they don't make the change, then NPB needs to put its foot in the ground and say, we won't post anyone under age 25, change the agreement.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if it comes down to money or no money, obviously, the money would be a big help. I just meant Lotte as the massive conglomerate and everything that they are. It's like, I'm just kind of ranting and raving. I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore, but it's just, what exactly do they do? Because now, you got players that are going to, for example, Rintaro Sasaki went to college in the U.S. and I believe he plans on entering the MLB draft. Does every good amateur in Japan start doing that? Like, how exactly do you stop that? And is it right to stop that? Are you able to stop that? Should you stop that?
See, I
The
saw
long
an article a while ago quoting the Yokohama DNA Bay Stars owner Tomoki Namba as saying that they need to improve competitiveness salary-wise between Japan and the majors, and maybe that's an element too. Right now SoftBank seems to be the only team able to pony up the massive multi-millions. Buffaloes and Fighters to a lesser extent, true. Until we start seeing Japanese players getting 10 million US dollar contracts at home and not foreign players like domestic talent. I don't think the and I don't think NBP will continue to see its top talent leave. I mean, this is a topic for another podcast because we're like more than halfway up through our recording time. But I feel that the Pacific League could be like the Premier League where everyone in the world watches, but you got to compensate the players. What I'm saying is the Hawks should sign Juan Soto.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I do think I'll just, real quick say the salaries I have thought for a while need to go up. And in my honest opinion, I don't have obviously the team's books in front of me, but I do think, they are capable of doing that.
Anyway, so sorry to interject, but I think we should kind of scuttle along here and let's kick it over to the team that just missed the playoffs this past season, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, I should say. Take it away again, Mike.
So there is a big story with the Eagles. However, we'll get into that a bit later. For now, Ryosuke Tatsumi decided he didn't just want a Golden Glove, he wanted to be all golden. He showed up to the NPB award ceremony in a golden mirror tuxedo with gold body paint, bold choice. And he looked like a Oscar statue. That's a very bold choice. We should see more of that.
I've got the Oscar fever. How about you?
I just want him. I wanted someone to joke to him and say, "You know that stuff's permanent, right?"
But coming back to the Eagles, Sung Chihao and Nick Turley as pitchers, Michael Franco as an infielder. That's a choice. I don't quite understand that one, but I mean, Michael Franco does have massive, pop. I did watch him multiple years with the Phillies, so I think it's just trying to unlock that, within him. But Cody Ponce is a free agent. I do think maybe perhaps he'll sign with another NPB team at some point. And to get to that big story I mentioned earlier, Masahiro Tanaka, the 36-year-old future Hall of Famer, opted for his release instead of a massive pay cut. Kyoto News reporting that Tanaka felt, in his words, that he was no longer wanted by Rakuten, and he feels that he's got more to offer beyond just simply hitting the 200 career wins milestone. He's currently sitting on 197. Last year, he spent most of his time recovering from shoulder surgery, only making one top team start, which is pretty much near the end of the year. He posted his own thoughts on his YouTube channel. If he wants to, I don't know exactly what the conversation between everybody was, but I feel as though he has a lot more to offer, and I guess something Rakuten didn't agree or whatever. But I do think he'll stay in the Pacific League because I don't think he likes batting, and if our memory serves, he did get injured maybe a couple of times when he was doing interleague stuff with the Yankees, and he had to bat and run the bases. So I do think he will actually be Pacific League bound. Or he could come back to the Eagles. Maybe who knows what happens. But at least one pitcher staying. Tomohiro Sakai, the setup man, put up 26 holds and a 2.33 ERA last season in 49 games and declined to use his free agency rights. Utility infielder and former captain Egoro Mogi is a free agent after appearing in only 10 starts last season, so wondering where he'll go. And Eagles infielder Fumiya Kurokawa is making some fans in Australia courtesy of a grand slam early into the Australian baseball season. Be sure to watch that. I've seen it. Believe they stream it on their website. I remember they used to stream it on YouTube. I don't know if they do. I've been seeing a lot of clips posted on the league's Twitter account. A lot of fun stuff there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cody Ponce hangs on in Japan and heads over to the Marines. Dallas Keuchel and CC Mercedes weren't signed to contracts. They've got foreign player slots open.
They did sign one though, Tyon Guerrero, which is a retread, which was interesting.
And so that brings us over to the 5th place team in the Pacific League this past season, the Oryx Buffaloes. Take it away, Gabe.
A bit of a surprise to lead off. Pitcher Luis Castillo and first baseman DH Leandro Cedeno were both dropped from the roster and are now free agents. Luis Castillo put up a 2.96 ERA in 15 starts with the Buffaloes in an abbreviated season. I think he was a mid-season signing. And Cedeno led all Buffaloes in home runs with 15 in 98 games. I think he still batted like 260-something too. That leaves closer Andres Machado and starters Luis Perdomo and Anderson Espinoza as the foreign players. Because of the NPB rules, the next foreign player they sign has to be a batter. You can't have all pitchers or all fielders. Them's the rules. I hope it's someone who can slug. Yutaro Sugimoto only hit 11 home runs. Nobody else got double digits. This is some next level noodle batting. And hopefully the Oryx Brain Trust can can re-energize this lineup. I know with Nakajima riding off into the sunset, there will be some new brains behind the bench. We'll see who they can unlock. One minor note, a little cross Kansai talent swap as infielder Joe Endo heads to the Buffaloes on a developmental contract from the Tigers. Endo put up a 392 on base percentage to lead the Western League. That's one of the two farm leagues in NPB, along with 30 steals to lead his team, but couldn't crack the crowded Tigers infield. I mean, yeah, Kinami, Hojo, Nakano, Oyama, who's back with them, and Teruaki Sato, yeah, tough to break in.
That sounds like a pretty good pickup for the Buffaloes. Actually, that could be a sneaky little big improvement next year.
We need all the offensive help we can get.
And speaking of teams that need offensive help, beautiful transition. That brings us over to my boys in the basement, the cellar-dwelling Saitama Seibu Lions. But hey, like I said, they're having a lot of fun last season. But let's see what they got in the offseason so far. They have added ex-Marlin and Blue Jay minor leaguer Emmanuel Ramirez, as per Daily Sports. The 30-year-old appeared in 15 games in Miami last season. His scouting report is he throws about a mid-90s fastball along with a splitter and a slider. He is the only player, foreign player that is, confirmed on the Lions roster for next season. And so, obviously, sort of the implication there is that Albert Abreu, one of the best closers in the Pacific League last season, is now a free agent. They will not be renewing him. He had 28 saves last year with 11 holds and a 2.39 ERA. Not sure where he'll go, but hopefully, I was going to say hopefully he stays in the Pacific League, but that means then he's going to be a problem for the Lions and everyone else. So let's send him over to the Central, make it somebody else's problem. And also another addition they've got, pitcher Bo Takahashi got a contract extension. He put up a 3.22 ERA in 33 games last season, so decent little arm. I mean, the Lions have a ton of arm talents, but having more is never a problem.
One cool thing about Bo Takahashi is that he is Brazilian by birth. He's of Japanese descent and he's fluent in English, Portuguese, and Spanish. His full name is Rodrigo Hitoshi Kaimoti Takahashi. I don't know where the Bo comes from.
I like Bo. Bo's good. Bo knows. There you go. And so that brings us to the end of that segment, and let's see what our familiar faces are doing in new places. How are the boys doing stateside?
In our last episode, we mentioned Gosuke Kato hanging up the cleats, but he's not staying away from the game for too long. He shows up here in familiar faces because the newly retired fighter infielder is heading back to North America to join the Toronto Blue Jays front office. Considering the Blue Jays gave him his first chance in the majors, good on him, good on them. I hope he shows up at the ballpark so I can get him to sign his cheer towel that I have of his. The MLB awards also were completed. Congrats to the unicorn, the legend, the incredible Shohei Ohtani on his third unanimous MVP award and another Silver Slugger.
Yep, good for Shohei Ohtani, the best in the game right now, maybe the best of all time by the time everything's said and done.
That contract was an underpay.
Yeah, seriously. And so that brings us over to our question of the day. It's a very simple one. Which foreign free agent would you like to see your team sign? You alluded to mine earlier. Obviously, I think totally just blanked on his name. Soto. Yeah, Juan Soto should head to the Hawks. I think it's a match made in heaven. They would work together so well. He would be so beloved. He'd be the greatest thing to ever happen in Hawks history, and I don't see why we can't do it. The Hawks have the money. So, yeah, that's my pick. What about you?
I'm going to go crazy here. So the Fighters have a full contingent of foreign players. So I don't really see like anyone leaping out like, ooh, me, sign me. I do kind of look at the Buffaloes and I see some of the first basemen who are available on the free agent market. I would love for the Buffs to go out and get a Pete Alonso or a Paul Goldschmidt. That would be amazing.
That would be actually really good. That could happen. What about you, Mike?
So I'll dial it back in and keep it a bit more realistic, but I got two players in mind for the Marines. One they don't really need, but I was looking at the list of free agents, and he'll probably get another MLB contract, but I saw that Josh Bell was only projected to get around $6 million on the free agent market, and I figured the Marines could match that if they really wanted to. And he's got good power. He's been a everyday first baseman for a number of teams. But pitching wise, the name that stood out to me was Sixto Sanchez. He's only 26, and if anyone remembers, he was the supposed to be the future of the Phillies organization, at least pitching wise. He was their top prospect for a number of years, and then he ended up being the key piece to the uh, JT Realmuto trade with the Miami Marlins. And overall, Sixto Sanchez, even though he's only 26, it hasn't really worked out, and the Marlins have kind of given up on him after these past 4 seasons, and nothing's really worked out. And I think, perhaps, they could get something out of him. Something. It just screams, one of those NPB signings. When you look out throughout history at some of the great, foreign signings, and it's a lot of players that were, decent prospects and then never really panned out for one reason or another. I think that would be a really good signing, and he's only really projected apparently to get a minor league deal of under $1 million. So, I mean, they could easily do that if he was willing to go overseas.
One other name I've seen bandied about, and this is one that got the tips of my ears tingling. Noah Syndergaard. Yes, he's been out of the game for a while, but he's open to coming to Asia to rebuild his arm and to continue his career. I think that'd be a fun little reclamation project.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see him on the Hawks. Let's go.
I do think the Buffaloes, well, with their pitching lab, could probably have something there if he were to go over them.
Then you have to get rid of one of Machado, Espinoza, or Perdomo, and all three have been fantastic. Again, they're already at 3 foreign pitchers. The next guy needs to be a batter.
Just pull a Hawks and have
Maybe
a
he could fit
million
in at the
foreigners.
Marines.
Oh yeah, get them on the carousel up and down to the farm team.
Anyway, so that's the end of today's show. Thank you as ever for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube-y stuff, and we'll see you next time on the podcast. Take care.